Hi, I'm Rev. Julia Robles-Scott, and I am your new bridge minister. So it's good to see everybody here. Thank you. And welcome to you out there in virtual land, wherever you're tuning in from. So just want to throw it out there. What's alive in you today? Billy's microbiome is alive and well. Curiosity, all right. Fulfillment, wonderful. Anything else? Gratitude. All right. Great, well, wonderful. Well, let's get started. We've got the fabulous Billy Bensing back playing with us today. So he's going to start us off with 2 community songs.
Hello. Well, I haven't done this in 5 years, so if I mess up, I want to see some unconditional love, Okay. It's like, no, I used to play these songs all the time, Reverend Lanny remembers. She'd be up here dancing with us, And we're going to do Everything I Need to Know. You probably know this is a great song. Everything I need to know about what lies before me. Everything I need to know about what lies before me is available to me. Is available to me through the mind of God within me. Everything I need to do about what lies before me. Everything I need to do about what lies before me is available to me. It's available to me through the mind of God within me. Everything I need to be at peace about what lies before me. Everything I need to be at peace about what lies before me is available to me. Is available to me through the mind of God within me. Everything I need to know about what lies before me. Everything I need to know about what lies before me is available to me. Is available to me through the mind of God within me. Through the mind of God within me. Through the mind of God within me. Well, I made it through that one. Let's hope that the same words are the same, the ones that I'm singing are the ones that are up here. But we didn't check that one, but it all worked out. All right, this one here, let's see, Let Me Love. All right, same capo. And it was so fun, Kelly and I went and sang at Agape in 2015, and we sang If I Believe, which I'm going to be playing later, but she played this song, Ricky. Did this song, like there. It was so fun, and I love this song, and she did it live, and it was great. Anyway. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me know that love is all around. Let me know that love is all around. Yeah. Oh, let me know that love is all around. Let me know love is all around. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me learn from all the ways I fall. Let me learn from all the ways I fall. Oh, let me know that love can heal us all. Let me know that love can heal us all. Oh, let me live in all the other way. Oh, let me live in all the other way. Oh, let me live in all the other way. Oh, let me live in all the other way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me share the good that's overflowing. Let me share the good that's overflowing. Oh, let me live in all the other way. Oh, let me live in all the other way. Oh, let me live in all the other way. Oh, let me live in all the other way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. All right. This is done for now.
Center for Spiritual Living. My name is Rev. Julia Robles-Scott, and I'm honored to be your bridge minister this morning. And it is my pleasure to remind us of who we are. We are a radically inclusive, spiritually progressive, supportive community that celebrates the diversity of creation. We strive to live authentic spiritual lives through a practical application of the teachings of science of mind. We engage in sacred practices that uplift our spirit, deepen our awareness, and ignite our soul's self-expression. We demonstrate active compassion to ourselves, each other, and the world. We experience meaningful contribution through giving generously of our time, talents, and treasures. We intentionally promote our community and teachings. And with that, I would like to invite our beloved practitioner, Shara Bambury, up for the inclusion candle lighting ritual. So we light these candles to celebrate the unity of all peoples, all faiths, all beings, all life. We light the first candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples. We light the second candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the third candle for Taoism, honoring the path of ultimate reality, the natural way. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the middle way and path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the teachings of Jesus as the path of love, forgiveness, and healing by the presence within. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the ninth candle for all forms of New Thought teachings, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles of love and law. We light the 10th candle for absolute inclusivity, affirming that all are welcome and celebrated here. And we light this final candle, honoring infinity of oneness as all creation, seen and unseen. And now I'll turn it back over to Billy for our next community song. All good, holy, holy.
It's all good. is good, holy, holy. All love, all love, all love, all love, holy, holy. All love, holy, holy. All in my mind, my heart, and my soul. Let me know all is love, holy, holy. Oh God, oh God, oh God, holy, holy. Oh God, holy, holy. All in my mind, my heart, and my soul. Let me know all is God, holy, holy. All good, holy, holy. All good, holy, holy. All in my mind, in my heart, in my soul. Let me know all is good, holy, holy. All in my mind, in my heart, in my soul. Let me know all is good, holy, holy.
Thank you, Billy.
Thank you. All right.
And now it's time for our announcements, and Hillary has volunteered to share those with us today. Thank you, Hillary.
Hello? Works? Okay, great. So this is our time of announcements. Information slides are there on the screen behind us. So everyone via live stream, and there's a handout for those here in the room. If you need one, just raise your hand and someone will bring it to you. All right. You can also find them, all announcements, on our weekly newsletter online. And you can also pick it up yourself on the way out the door if you like. So our first one is Manifest and Mastery Study Group, Tuesdays, noon to 1 and 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. We explore various teachings and techniques of how to use the law of attraction efficiently and effectively to create the life you desire. The next one is Science of Mind Study Group, Thursdays, noon to 1 and 5:30 to 6:30. We continue our journey of reading and discussing Ernest Holmes' 1926 text, The Science of Mind, a complete course of lessons in science of mind and spirit. The next one is Revealing Newness Through Group Healing, Community Workshop after service, today, April 2nd, and next Sunday, April 9th. And we're having a community meeting April 30th after service. And we hope to see everybody there from the community. And we also...
It's wrong. It's not the 23rd, it's the 30th.
Yes. It was this 23rd, but we rescheduled it to the 30th. Because I believe there'll be a potluck afterwards. Is that right? No, community meeting.
Community meeting and potluck.
Community meeting and potluck, yes. And our last potluck was really great. So I also wanted to let you know that prayer after service is available. And if that doesn't work for you, there are sheets behind the chairs where you can fill that out and then put it in the box over there on the table as you go out the door or as you stay here and visit. And I think that that's it.
Thank you, Hillary.
You're very welcome.
Appreciate it. We've got a lot going on. And now it's time for that shift inward. And so I'll turn it over to our practitioner, Shara Banbury.
Good morning. I woke up this morning and I thought, what is service? What does it mean to me? And I realized that I have a life of service. I have always felt like something was leading me and guiding me to do something in this world while I'm here. So it has shifted and changed through the years, but there's one thing that has been consistent. When I was a little girl, I saw a lady with a shopping cart filled with bags. And I said to my mom, I want to be like her when I grow up. I want to be free. I want to live wherever I want to live and do whatever I want to do. And then I grew up and I realized that that wasn't the choice for most people, that it was something that had to do with circumstances and conditions in their lives. And so I told myself, okay, so get to know them, get to know what it's like. And that led me into years of doing things like community gardens, working at peace and justice centers, helping people with food issues and the politics of food, joining task forces to make changes. And that led me here to this community where now I'm serving in the mental health field, working with people to find homes, understanding what that's about, and recognizing it's much more prevalent than we realize. There's a lot going on in our world, and we all know that. A lot of changes are happening, a lot of extremes. And so with the changes in weather, we also can see the changes for people. People floundering and people needing help. They are our teachers. So this week, one of my old teachers came back, and she wrote online, "You haven't heard from me in years. It's because I'm struggling to stay alive. The only reason I can think to stay alive is so that my children don't have to suffer my death." And I thought, how many people feel that way? And I realized these are my teachers. They are telling us they need our love and our support and our respect. When we get to that point of knowing who we are, as we do here at this center, we know that we are love. We know that we have purpose. And so it is important for us to serve others and share this concept. God is within each one of us. That love, that principle, that mind, that perfect mind is within each of us. It's not out there. There's nothing wrong with us. But we can believe that there is. So how do we serve? How do we serve? Core values. Ernest Holmes taught them. We listen to everybody that gives something to us, and we find a way. Ernest Holmes said in The Science of Mind, "I do not believe that God has imposed suffering upon anyone to punish them or to teach them a lesson. Prayer is a thought, a belief, a feeling arising within the mind of the one praying." Think of that. So that's the role of my work as a practitioner, and that's the same for each of us. We have the mind within us to see others perfect, whole, and complete as our teachers. So now I'd like to change over to the bowls, and we'll say 3 ohms, and then we'll go into silence for 5 minutes. opening everywhere to heart, to love, to each of its creations. All is love. All is good. Knowing the truth of the beautiful and wondrous creation of life, we hold dear the wonder of it all. Divine Mind, come to us in this moment. We invite your wealth and your prosperity, your wondrous ways of beauty and love, acceptance, spiritual awareness, a world without end, all your creation. I know that I am a part of this wonder, that divine mind is within me and each one present here, and each one, no matter what the species, everywhere. We are one mind, and I am connected to each one. I am never alone. And so knowing that there is no separation, knowing that it's all part of one creation, that is far beyond my understanding, I realize that in every human condition, we have opportunity to claim our wholeness. This is a choice that I make to claim the wholeness of myself and each one that is connected to me again and again and again through realization. Everywhere, everyone. And I connect with all the little beings and the big beings in the world. From the animals to the treetops, the mountains and the valleys, the oceans and the rivers. All are expression of divine mind in action. All are connected. And so there is eternal life, both in the physical realm and in the spiritual realm, and on all the realms that we have no understanding of. It's all connected. Nothing is separate. There is no other. I'm so grateful to know this truth, not only for myself, but for all others that I know are part of me and I am part of them. There is a joy in that knowing. There is a smile when we pass. There is a love, heart to heart, that I'm deeply grateful for. And so I speak my word into divine mind, into that realm that connects us all through our souls, that one soul, knowing that it's already done in spirit and that we are manifesting it through ourselves in this moment. And so it is. Thank you. And now we have an affirmation. So I will say it the first time, and then I'll ask that you say it with me the second and third time. I bring my own unique expression to life and create a safe space for others to do the same. I create my own unique expression to life and create a safe space for others to do the same. I bring my own unique expression to life and create a safe space for others to do the same. Thank you.
So it is. Thank you, Shira. That was wonderful. So before I get to speak, we're going to turn it over to Billy Benzine for our pre-talk song, If I Believe.
Works. All right. We're going to have a little background music that I created here in Grass Valley. We'll get to hear Kelly singing in the background with me, and that'll be fun. Here we go. Hopefully it'll all work. Play. Here we go. Hey, you've been with me all my life, tracking my dreams like a knife, following me around, my old friend. Sometimes I just have to pretend. If I believe, I'm gonna find a better way. Through the clouds I'll see the beauty of another day. Love only takes me so far. I dream you could heal every scar. A miracle sure to make good. You keep on saying it could. If I believe, I'm gonna find a better way. Through new eyes I see the beauty of another day. to love and forgive and cherish, and if I believe I'm gonna find a better way through new wilds I see the beauty of another day. If I believe, will I be free? If I believe, will I be free? If I believe, will I be free? If I believe, will I be free?
That's such a beautiful song.
Thank you, Kelly. She wrote a lot of the words to that. I would just give her an idea and a melody, and she'd come back with all the words written. It was quite amazing.
Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you, Kelly. All right.
What did we ever do without technology? Right? Ah. It's so nice to have you all here today. Thank you for those of you that came on Thursday. It was a very sweet send-off for Rev. Rafe and Deborah. Vulnerability is the only authentic state. Being vulnerable means being open for wounding, but also for pleasure. Being open to the wounds of life means also being open to the bounty and beauty. Stephen Russell. So last month, we focused on cultivating authenticity in order to be our true selves and let our light shine. We talked about the importance of sharing our boundaries with others to create a bridge for us to be able to connect. This month, we get to focus on the power of vulnerability. We're going to define what it is and what it isn't. We'll discover why being vulnerable is important in our personal relationships and our community. We'll talk about barriers to allowing ourselves to be vulnerable and things we can do to overcome these barriers. So personal transformation requires vulnerability. It helps us become aware of what lies just underneath the surface. Today we'll learn how vulnerability is the crucial starting point for authenticity and connection. And by allowing ourselves to be seen more deeply for who we are, with all our blemishes and imperfections, we invite others to do the same. And this creates a foundation for a thriving and healthy community. So what is not? Vulnerability is not oversharing or dumping inappropriate emotions on others. The motivation for the vulnerability that we're talking about is one that comes from a desire to fully express ourselves for the purpose of being authentic and creating connection with others. To be vulnerable is not to be without boundaries, nor is it to be a doormat for others to step on. Vulnerability is not weakness. It is a conscious choice to express our thoughts, feelings, and desires in a way that serves to nurture a life of authenticity. Brené Brown defines vulnerability as a state of emotional exposure that comes with a certain degree of uncertainty. It involves a person's willingness to accept the emotional risk that comes from being willing to be open and to love and to be loved. Some examples of vulnerability are taking chances that might lead to feelings of being rejected, talking about mistakes we have made, feeling difficult emotions, or being honest about boundaries and expectations. So here's some questions for us to ponder. What areas of your life are the most challenging to exercise vulnerability? So some of you may have heard me describe myself as a recovering perfectionist. So for me, things that can still be challenging are to share with another human being when I've made a mistake. It's a lot easier than it used to be, but it still can be challenging. And so I'm going to share a mistake I made this week. And it might not be a big deal to you all, but it was a big deal to me. And so it's a little hard to share, but anyway. So actually what's been going on for me since I took on this position is it's been challenging for me to figure out how to marry my other job calendar and this calendar in a way that works and supports my own well-being. And so one of the things that has been happening is because this is just like the most amazing experience I've ever had in my life. And so in the mornings I would wake up at like 2 a.m. and just be awake for hours because all of these wonderful ideas were coming to me, right? So I was losing sleep. And then I lost track of the days. And then this is the thing that happened with my other job. I had scheduled an appointment and I missed it. So I was doing something, else. And so of course I felt terrible about that, right? So I contacted the person, please, can we please reschedule? Sorry, I'm so sorry, right? So we rescheduled. And oh my God, I missed the second one. I'm also a 1 on the Enneagram. I don't know if any of you know what that means, but, that was really hard for me. Oh, I'm still like, I'm feeling, so I got to ask for grace and patience, right? And I'm still, I'm feeling grateful that the person still wants to meet with me. So that's what happened, one of those things. And so it's an opportunity for me to remind myself that I'm a human being, I'm going through a major life change, and to have patience with myself and compassion. Self-compassion has been like a huge gift to give to myself. I may have shared this story before, but I was supporting someone that was going through a really hard time, and I was getting support for myself as I was supporting this person because I really needed it, and I was kind of like the perfectionist that I am, beating myself up, like, oh, I should have said this, or I shouldn't have said that, or I could have been doing this better, or whatever. And my supporter said to me, Julia, you have so much compassion for that person. How about having some for yourself? That was one of those light bulb moments. And ever since then, I've practiced compassion for myself. So here's another question for us. In what ways do you see vulnerability as being an integral part of living an authentic life? So for me, when I was thinking about this, I realized that if I'm not willing to risk being vulnerable with people and allowing them to see who I truly am, then I'm not creating the opportunity for deep connection, right? But when I am willing to take that risk and share from a place of vulnerability, then that opens up the possibility for them to do the same. And that's where we get to feel those deep connections. And for me, the most important thing in the world are those heart-to-heart deep connections. Because that's where love is, with a capital L, right? And what could be more important than that? That's what I live for, to have those heart-to-heart connections. And question number 3, how can seeing ourselves as individualized expressions of spirit influence our ability and willingness to be vulnerable in areas that may be challenging? I think this is the key. The key for me is knowing that I'm an individualized expression of spirit. That's what allows me to love myself and to have compassion for myself when I make mistakes. As a result, it's much easier for me to be vulnerable with others. After all, we're all spirit, having human experiences that give us the opportunity to wake up to the truth of who we are. Magnificent spiritual beings. So being vulnerable is about exploring the depths of ourselves and others, even when we are unsure of what we may uncover. It is stepping into the unknown, often in the face of uncertainty and fear, for the purpose of fostering a more complete expression of ourselves and thereby creating deeper connections. I had the honor this week of a person trusting me enough to be vulnerable and share some personal things with me. And the person was sharing how they had this newfound discovery that they had some inner deep healing to do that hadn't been healed, and so it was causing their relationships to not work very well. And the person was sharing that, this probably comes from whatever, right? And the beautiful thing was when they were sharing with me, more in detail of what was going on for them, the thought occurred to me, wow, this person is being vulnerable with me. Would I have the courage to actually be sharing that much with another person? And so it was a beautiful opportunity for me to be able to witness someone acknowledging that they had things that they need to heal on a really deep level. And they had made the decision to do whatever it takes to have that healing happen. And so I noticed after getting off the phone and sitting with that, how I felt a deeper connection with this person because they had shared this with me. That's what we're talking about. So why is being vulnerable important? It's necessary to be vulnerable to experience both our own self-expression and connection. And as we know, it's not always easy. We may have been hurt in the past when we were being vulnerable, or we may have been raised to not show our feelings and to keep a safe emotional distance to protect ourselves from getting hurt. So I want to read something from our Science of Mind magazine this month. Love this magazine. And it is by Ryan Alexander. And it's about overcoming barriers. Fear is often a powerful barrier to vulnerability. This fear is experienced in different ways by different people and in different situations. Shame and blame are some of the places we go in the face of such fear. For some, individual and societal frameworks and constructs may contribute to fear and stand as barriers to vulnerability. Fear, however, can be a helpful emotion because it can shed light on areas of our lives that require a closer look, as well as on areas within our communities and society that require change. Looking at this fear supports us in creating safe spaces for vulnerability. So the gift we give by being vulnerable with others is that it creates that safe space for others to be vulnerable with us. By being vulnerable with each other, we can create a safe community and safe relationships in which vulnerability can thrive and grow. In doing this, we create a container for transformation to happen in relationship with one another. Vulnerability becomes the starting point of authenticity and connection, not only to ourselves, but to spirit and the world around us. It allows us to bring our own unique expression to life while extending the same invitation to everyone else. Having clear boundaries with yourself and others sets the stage and is an integral part of the process of being vulnerable. Remember, in March, we learned how sharing our boundaries with others creates that clear path so that there's a bridge for us to connect with one another. So there's another paragraph by this Ryan Anderson that I want to share. It's called Reshaping Our Collective Narrative. In fostering communities that nurture vulnerability and authenticity, we must understand the role of personal reflection and responsibility. We must be willing to say things like, wow, I really messed up there, or I'm sorry, I should have listened and communicated differently. This level of vulnerability requires us to see life from a wide variety of angles and understand how our thoughts, words, and actions directly affect the whole, right? Vulnerability is not weakness. It's about showing up and being seen even in the face of fear and shame. The call is to begin to examine areas in our lives where we have been resistant, for whatever reason, to vulnerability. Areas where searching for our own worthiness may have created a divide between who we truly are and who we pretend to be. The opportunity is to gain clarity and awareness of our connection with Spirit and how our connection with Spirit fuels our connection and authenticity with ourselves and others. So Ernest Holmes said, every one of us has in back of us the potential of the universe. There is an irresistible potential pressing against everyone for self-expression. If we listen, we shall hear it, not as a voice, but as a feeling, as a divine urge to express. And this points us to an understanding that the reality of our essence is the ability to express fully within this life. Just as we observe the movement of growth and vitality in nature, as the flowers are blooming and the grass is growing, that's the same blueprint that we have within our own souls to express fully in this life. This world may seek to put us in a box or try to suppress our authenticity. But if we're willing to be vulnerable, we can have the opportunity to live our greatest lives out loud. The willingness to take the risk of authentic living, even though doing so may open us up to challenges along the way, leads us to the very outpicturing of that irresistible potential within us that Ernest wrote about. So, beginning to wind down, I want to remind us that authenticity and meaningful connection are born out of vulnerability. Vulnerability allows us to build trust and intimacy in relationships, foster empathy and understanding, increase our sense of self-worth, build relationships with those who serve to support and love us, work together in partnership and community, work through and process emotions, increase our self-awareness and accountability, and opens us up to the possibility of expansion and transformation. So in conclusion, I want to share a paragraph by Carol Carnes, I believe is how she pronounces her last name, and then I'll share something that happened yesterday. So she's saying that there is profound spiritual strength in being an open book, as it were. What is there to hide when we know our true self is love and intelligence in ever-increasing expression? I know that sounds like the stuff of saints and sages, yet it is the very foundation of New Thought spirituality. Our self-identity is the clearest predictor of our experience. One of the more familiar sayings of our teachings is, change your thinking, change your life. And Carol would like to amend that to, change your self-identity and your life will change. I thought that was a powerful change that she wanted to make. So as life would have it, yesterday I got to go visit a very dear friend of mine, whom I love and trust. And I got to share with them some of the deepest wounds that I've experienced in my life and how I got to heal from them in this community through the Science of Mind classes. And my friend pointed out to me that my deepest spiritual wound, which was being excommunicated from my church for choosing to be my authentic self, led me on a journey that has brought me right here to this point today to be able to help lead a spiritual center that not only encourages and supports us, but really urges us to be our authentic self, to show up in vulnerability with all our warts and wrinkles, and to let our light shine as only we can. How grateful I am to be part of an organization that celebrates the diversity of spirit in its multitudinous expressions, recognizing God in us, as us, is us. We are one, and so it is. Namaste. Thank you. And so now it is time for our conscious giving. And so I would like to read it out loud together. And so it's our prosperity affirmation. And here we go. I give this gift with love and joy from a consciousness of abundance. Divine love blesses and prospers all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. And so I'm going to invite Billy to do another song for us.
Right. I think you all know this song here. It's a Bob Dylan song. And it's one of those real famous ones. I want to sing it. It's about times they are changing. And they are. It's always changing. Come gather round people wherever you roam, and admit that the waters around you have grown, and accept that soon you'll be drenched to the bone. If your time for you is worth saving, Yeah, and you better start swimming or you sink like a stone, for the times they are changing. Some writers and critics prophesize with your pen. Keep your eyes wide, the chance won't come again. And don't speak too soon, for the wheel's still in spin. There's no telling who it's a name, and the loser now will later to win, for the times they are changing. Come senators, congressmen, please heed the call. Don't stand in the doorway, don't block the wall, for he who gets hurt will be he who has stalled. There's a battle outside and it's raging. It'll soon shake your windows and rattle your walls, for the times they are changing. Come mothers and fathers throughout the land, don't criticize what you can't understand. Your sons and your daughters are beyond your command. Your road is rapidly aging. Please get out of the new one if you can't lend a hand, for the times they are changing. Oh, the line it is drawn, the curse it is cast. The slow one now will later be fast, as the prison now will later be past. The order is rapidly fading, yeah, and the first one now will later be last, for the times they are changing. In the times they are changing. Thank you, Bob Dylan. All right. What a genius.
Thank you, Billy.
Should I
Thank
sit
you.
down or I don't know.
Thank you. You can sit there
I
or
can
sit
here.
down.
Yeah, I'll stick
All right. Thank you all for your gifts today. Let's bless these gifts. Just knowing that money is an expression of energy, and that infinite energy that is God, that is abundance, is ever flowing through in and as us, as our life. For this is the life of God. This is the nature of God, is abundance. And so I give thanks for all these blessings, knowing that they are pressed down and multiplied and returning to us in magnificent ways. I give thanks for the blessings that they create in our community and in the world. And I simply let this go as our truth, and so it is. Reminders and appreciation. So if you're staying for the workshop, we're starting at 11:30. It's 2 hours today. You're more than welcome to come. Also appreciation for Mary Lou on the PowerPoint, Juanita for all of your work. Thank you, Carl and Jill, for bringing the beautiful flower. Thank you to our practitioner, Shara. Great to have you back. Thank you, Billy, for the fabulous music today.
Pleasure.
Thank you. If I forgot anyone, thank you, thank you, thank you. Hillary, yes, for volunteering. I didn't twist your arm too much, did I? to do the announcements. Thank you so much. All right. So let's stand for our benediction. Do we have a PowerPoint slide for that one? Oh, okay. I could only see the bottom line. All right. So something wonderful is happening as me right now. It's this thing called authenticity. It's this thing called vulnerability. It's this thing called deep connection. I know it. I feel it. I sense it. Because I am it. And so it is. Thank you. And now for our closing song.
Ta-da! We got something different
see.
than the closing song we always used to do. Anyway, this is
I can
about,
see it clearly now.
it's going to be a bright, bright, sunshiny day, but today wasn't that day, but maybe by next Sunday, we're going to do a little sun dance, okay?
Yeah.
So stamp your feet, and we'll do a little sun dance, and by next Sunday, it's going to be warm and sunny, and anyway, sing along, and we're going to pretend.
I can see clearly now the rain is gone. Oh yeah. I can see all obstacles in my way. Yeah. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. I think I can make it. Now the pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is that rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Yeah. But look all around, there's nothing but blue sky. Look straight ahead, there's nothing but blue sky. I can see clearly now the rain has gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone out the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Yeah, yeah. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day.
One more thing. What are you taking away with you today? Vulnerability. All right. That's
a good
great.
thing.
Thanks, y'all, for being here.
It's a great talk.
Blessings.
Thank you.
Have a great
Thank you,
week.
everybody.
Okay.